Hello everyone, thank you for joining us. This video is part of our 2021 Book to Action series. For this video, we will be doing a craft that emulates a style of printing known as block printing. Block printing is a printing technique for printing text, images, and patterns since 220 AD that continues on into the present day. For this craft, you will need a sheet of paper, one sheet of craft foam, a piece of foam board, acrylic paint, glue, cutting utensils. I have scissors and a razor blade, a black marker, and a paintbrush. Set all your materials aside and we'll start with our foam sheet. This is where you will do your design that is going to end up printed on your sheet. Now I have here a sheet that is slightly smaller than your average 8.5 by 11 size sheet. If you wanted to, you could cut your foam sheet so it matches the size of the paper exactly, but I chose to do mine a little bit smaller. So on this sheet, you are going to use a black marker and a cutting utensil of some sort. And what you're going to do is you're going to draw your design directly onto the foam sheet. You can either copy something off of a piece of paper, or you can draw something entirely from your mind. So I have a design in mind already that I'm going to draw now. So now I have my finished design, which is a little lotus leaf on a lily pad, and it's got little ripples of water here and other lily pads at the corners. And I've also drawn this little border around it. Now what you're going to do is you're going to use your cutting instruments or even the back of a pencil or pen, and you are going to make indents into the foam for where your print is actually going to show up. So if I were to pour paint on this now, you would just get one big shade of blue here, just one big rectangle. But in order to actually get the images, we're going to make indents into the foam and cut into the foam so those recesses will not show up with paint. So you'll see what I mean in a minute. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this pencil and I'm going to make indents into all of the lines that I did here. Actually, I'm going to use a paintbrush. All right, so now I've made indents into all of the black lines here that will show up white now because they're recessed, because we're going to now paint this with a paint color. So as you can see here, I've indented all of that and made nice deep grooves in it. So now we'll take your scissors and cut along the border here. All right, so now we've got our indented piece, and you're going to take your foam board and you're going to glue your print onto the board. And now that that's nice and glued down, we'll wait for this to dry completely. All right, now that our foam board and our foam sheet have completely dried, now we get to the exciting part, which is actually making our print. So for that, you're going to need your design, a paintbrush, and some paint. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our brush. The bigger it is, the better. It spreads more evenly across the print. Or alternatively, if you have one, you can use a craft roller to roll on the paint. So we're going to take our paint and just slide it down the print. I'm just sliding it down. Not worrying too much if it catches onto the lines of the indents. Just want to make sure we get a nice even coat. So now that we've got our coat of paint, we're going to take our sheet of paper. We're going to take our foam print, turn it over, and press it down onto the sheet. Press it nice and flat. Now we're going to flip this over and make sure the paper is nicely covered, and then we're simply going to peel it off. And voila! You've got your lovely little print with all its indents and the nice border. And that is how you can emulate block printing. So you could take a foam sheet of a smaller size and make a stamp and then just stamp it onto the page. You could always make it bigger, and it's just something to really have fun with. So thank you so much for joining me, and have a good day.